All right, so in this video, we are going to look at how to register for WAMAP and how to navigate through WAMAP once you get up in here. All right, so if you've never been in WAMAP before, you're going to want to register as a new student. Okay, if you've had a WAMAP account before, whether it's for science or English or math, you just type in your information so you can log on in and then get the information for our class. All right, but for us new students, you want to go ahead and create your own name. And so I already kind of started one. So this time I'm gonna be Professor D12, and then I'm gonna choose a password for my invisible person. Okay, and you got to make sure, of course, that your passwords match up. Okay, then enter your first and last name. So, okay, and then enter your email address, which I don't know if I use the same email address, it might not let me. So let me try to fake one. All right, and then you want to keep this checked so that when I'm emailing you back, you get that message. Also, check that you're older than 13. Your terms of use, you're gonna want to at least thumb through that. Make sure you understand what the rules are when you're using this. Check it off. And then here are the two most important pieces, making sure that from our Canvas shell, okay, making sure from our Canvas shell that you get our enrollment key and our course ID. All right, so the enrollment key is going to be this TCC triple explanation point 101 without that period on the end. Okay, so let me do that. That's our enrollment key. And then our course ID is going to be the 40610. So got that. Okay. And once you get all of that in, you sign up. Says it appears account exists with the same email you entered if you're creating this. So I'm gonna just say it's cool. So that's why I was trying to create a fake email, but this should be fine. Still should be able to create my account. So there I go with my username. Okay, I see I'm in the correct course, so I'm ready to return to the login page, and it already has my information in there saved, and now I'm ready to go. All right, so as I keep saying, like both of our classes are already embedded into one another, so you don't have to worry about going from one class to the other. Like our prerequisites, they will start in chapter 2. All right, so uh, just a couple of things. So when you want to send me a message, you use the messaging aspect of the software that's on the ledger on the left. Anytime you're like into something and you want to get out back to that home page, just click on the actual link name of the class. Okay, we have our forums where we have questions about the homework. We have a general forum, and then we're going to have our introduction and our extra credit. You entering your symbols into WAMAP. All right. So where do you find that stuff? Well, you just got to scroll down to this getting started. Start here. Okay. So again, a copy of the syllabi will be there. This is a video about a growth mindset, especially if you are a online learner and you need a little bit of motivation. It just talks about scheduling and things like that, trying to stick to your schedule. Next will be this getting started tutorial, and this is extremely helpful for people that have never used WAMAP before, right? So as you're scrolling through this, right, anytime you like miss something, and this is going to be for the homework as well. Like once you get to these inputs, okay, so anytime it's asking for some type of expression, it's going to give you this drop box to where you can enter some of the symbols that it may need. All right. You can also, if you know the shortcuts, you can shortcut some of this stuff too, so that you're not spending time with that. Like to the caret key is just shift 6 on your keypad, so that you don't have to use this. Okay. Just like you can use the slash for your fraction bar as well. And I missed my symbol. So because I didn't get full credit for that, right? So watch what happens. right? Now I can go back and get my full credit. Now, if it didn't give me my full credit, because this is the getting started tutorial, right? So typically if that was a math question, I wouldn't have got my full point. Okay, I would have just needed to try similar, and it will give me a very similar question to the previous one I just had, and now I can go ahead and get my full credit. All right, so if I was doing C with that W squared, this time don't forget your plus sign, plus 8. Now to pull up that radical symbol, I'm gonna just click on it this time, and then it's the W plus 1, right? And so I would, enter everything in there to get my full credit, and then just get to my next question. So to go to your next question, just push the arrow forward. All right. So once you get through the getting started tutorial, next is going to be introduction. So part of the introduction is you can earn some extra credit here as well if you take advantage of putting a picture up. So change your user info a little bit, just so when I'm responding to you, I know who you are. So in order to do that, you just need to, I don't know why it's not letting me click on it, but let me go to the home page. So if you go to your home page and click, there you go. So go to your home page, click on your settings icon, and then just scroll down to this picture. Just go in there, select the picture. Let me see if I got something on my computer. Go in there, select the picture. Okay, choose the file, update my info. Done. And then essentially my picture will come up, right? I will go back and check why that's not popping up instantly. But you can definitely get that extra credit by doing that. You also have this extra credit assignment for your WAMAP symbols. Okay, so the information for typing the code to type the stuff in is on this sheet right here. You can print this if you have access to a printer. If not, just open two screens so that when you're doing the actual assignment, right? Like I'm gonna just type in extra credit. Okay, when I'm doing the assignment, you gotta press this add new math. That's like that's your code symbol, right? So first I'm gonna press like number 1 and add new sign. I think is what X bar, so bar X plus or minus plus or minus. Then I think is Z divided by N or something similar to that. But I just want you guys to see how you get that stuff in there. So whatever is on that sheet, there's 3 expressions or 3 formulas. Those need to be typed exactly like that here for you to get this extra credit. Okay, so make sure you're paying attention to the coding. And then lastly, you'll need to upload an image of your calculator. So if you do not have a calculator yet, okay, you can get an emulator that you can download. Typically, sometimes you have to pay for these. If you just go to the Texas Instrument website, sometimes you might find one for free. Okay, but all you're going to be asked to do here is just type in 146, then take a screenshot. So screenshot of that, and now I'm ready to go ahead and knock out this assignment, and then just put in there what I have. Now, when it comes to you uploading your notes and your quizzes, okay, I'm going to always ask you to use this picture icon, this image icon. And mainly because I do a lot of grading from my phone. So if I see it pop up on my phone, that, I have a couple of assignments, I'll go ahead and grade them right now so you can get your instant feedback. Okay. Now, here's the thing. If you're going to upload multiple images, okay, so you see how my cursor is here. I just got to arrow down. So you're telling it basically that I want to put another image in here. And then for these images, it's expecting you to have a picture, right? So it's not going to let you upload just any old file. So just make sure you're paying attention to the file that you're uploading, okay? And then like once you find the notes, the picture of the notes that you took, or you find the picture of the quiz that you took, go ahead and upload it. All right. And if you have a second page, then again, you do the same thing. You just arrow down or press enter so you can get to the cursor can get to a new line, and then you just insert your second page. Okay. So when it comes to uploading your notes, when it comes to uploading your quizzes, okay, there's you can upload multiple documents. All right, and then when you're done, you just press done, and actually you'll submit it first. You'll make sure you submit the assignment. You see it lost mine, but you'll want to submit the question first and then press done. So once you get all of that done, okay, you're done with the getting started module. Okay, now this module is due on Tuesday the 1st, so the second day into the quarter. Again, today is the 24th, right? You got plenty of time to get this done before we start so that you're already done with that. That way, now you can start working on your chapter 1 assignments. Okay. And so now here's what I was talking about with your resources. Okay. Inside each chapter, you're going to have a book, a PDF to the book. Okay. If you need more interaction, okay, you're going to have access to a PowerPoint. Okay. The PowerPoint will give you a little more interaction, especially when you put it in slideshow mode, so that when it gets to asking you questions for the solution, right, you can kind of, as you're doing it, say, oh, okay, I answered this, and then see the solution to make sure you was correct. And then lastly, you have access to videos. All right. So some of the videos or some of the chapters is just one video. Some of the chapters is six or seven videos, depending upon how rigorous the content is. Right. So, but you have this readily available for you. So once you're ready, as you're looking at the PowerPoint or reading the chapter, you're taking your notes. Once you're ready to submit your notes, right? I'm telling you right here, make sure you number them. Let me know, like it's hard for me to try to guess what you're thinking, so I don't, right? So you gotta let me know what's going on by just putting numbers. And again, if you list 5 instead of 4, you'll get that extra credit point. All right. And there's another document on how to upload multiple videos, which is going to be pretty much the same thing we just did. Now, once you get to the homework, okay, let's just say it is Thursday the 3rd, right? And it's, you just got off work. Like, I get it. Most of us most of you guys are working. So you just got off of work. It's 11:16. You're like, I'm not going to get this done in time. Great. That's what late passes are for. I wouldn't make that a habit of waiting until the 3rd to do it. But sometimes you do run in a crunch, and that's why I give you 30, to try to give you that leeway so that you can get your schedule kind of situated. All right. But once you click to use this late pass, it's going to ask you again, are you sure you want to use the late pass? Right. You say you can use up to 2. It's going to let you know how many you got left. Okay. And it's telling you if you redeem this, it's going to extend it for 48 hours. Are you sure you want to redeem it? You press yes. Okay. If I go over here to the grade book, you see this assignment, it tells me that the late pass has been issued. And now instead of it being due on the 3rd, it's due on the 5th. Okay, so it extended it 2 days from the due date. Okay, so while I'm over here in the grade book, teach you or show you how to read this thing. So this past due column, that's going to be your current grade. Okay, anything in this column is going to be your current grade. Anything in this past due and available, that's everything that's in the WAMAP shell right now, right? So we have 10 total chapters. So a chapter and a half will open every week up to chapter 10. Okay, so you'll see it slowly as we get into the quarter where you're going to see more and more stuff open up in here. All right. So again, the most important part is making sure you're staying on top of this stuff so that you're not getting bogged down and getting behind. All right. So there's a legend down here so that you can know what this stuff means, like, LP for late pass, D for deduct, because I'm going to drop your lowest quiz. All right. I think that's about it. Oh, once we get later into the chapter, like once we start looking at later into the quarter, once we start looking at inferential statistics, okay, so that's chapter 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, I'm always going to attach like a tip sheet for the entire chapter. Okay, so you can download these as well. Okay, you're still going to need to turn in your handwritten notes for your 3 or 4 different sections, right? But this will help you with the entire chapter. Okay, so every study shows that if you write stuff down yourself instead of just listening to me or typing it out, you just remember it. You remember it. You can recall it better, right? It's like your memory is just the wonders of the brain and how the brain works. But by writing it down, you seem to be able to recall the information a lot better than any other way of receiving the information. Okay, last thing is that you got a little bit of resource here. Again, if you forget how to read that grade book, ask your questions about homework. Do not post questions about quizzes. You'll get a 0 on that quiz. Don't post a question about a quiz. Don't post a question about a midterm. Don't post a question about the final. All right. If you have a question like about something leading up to the final or quiz, like, hey, I just want to get clarification before I take this thing, that's completely different. Okay. But, just make sure that we are being as honest as we can. Then again, there is our calendar yet again so that you are aware of what's coming up and what is due for this course. All right. So, like I said, if there are still any type of questions, do not hesitate to reach out to me. I am here to help and support you the best I can. Talk to you shortly.